New year, new beginnings. Lesson number 3. Has travel become a triumph or a tragedy?
And welcome back again to 6 Weeks to Wellness with Jan Fitzpatrick of inVibeHealth.com. So Jan, travel, triumph, tragedy, what are we talking about in this episode?
Well, I hope this hasn't happened to you, but has travel become more trouble than it's worth? Make sure to give yourself lots of time to get ready to travel, and it will flow much more smoothly. And I find that as I get older, that's true more and more. And remember to build in lots more time when you get home to recover from your trip.
Yeah, travel's not nearly as much fun as it used to be to me, so I hear you. But before we get into that, Jan, give me the rundown of the main points we're going to hit in this episode.
We're going to talk about holiday experiences, be realistic, and how do you want to remember your holiday?
All right, great. Let's go there then, as we say. Triumph, tragedy. What about these holiday experiences? What about these travel experiences? What is a little bit of what you learned here?
Well, I had a really long trip, and that was my trip back to my family in Minnesota, and I decided this time to take lots of time to prepare for it. And I'm starting to think about a couple weeks beforehand. I start to pack a week before. I kind of figured out what I wanted. I got it cleaned. I checked 2 bags. 2 of the wheelie bags that I had? I checked both of them. And then I just carry on a purse and a really pretty travel bag. But the days of hefting, saving money, trying to save money by carrying one of my bags on is way over. Hefting it up there and getting into the big rush of people, trying to get on board. I get on, I sit down, I get my water out, I get my book out, put things underneath my little seat, and then I just sit and wait for the thing to load. It's much more peaceful to do it that way. And then on the other end of it, I had everything planned out.
That really does sound vastly better. I don't know if they're making those compartments smaller or if people are sneaking on bigger bags, but there's never enough room in those overhead compartments, is there?
Oh, no. And I also did a drive. I went to Manhattan to pick up my son and his wife and bring them back. They had tons of packages. They don't have a car and they don't drive. So it was kind of a favor. And to make it more fun, because she didn't get off work till about 5, that would have been in the middle of the rush hour in New York City, and you just don't want to be there. So she came home. I did some things with my son before she came home. We went out to dinner. We took our time. And then my son was kind of my co-pilot through the dark Manhattan streets, and it was raining too. So it was very helpful to have someone help me navigate on the way back home. It's very relaxed.
Well, that is awesome, Jan. I applaud the strategy. Taking that time to plan and prepare.
Yeah.
Preparation is key. So let's talk about being realistic then. I mean, because obviously that is easier to do if you've been planning, right? So. Yes.
Have you ever come back from a vacation and felt like you needed a vacation?
A lot.
Okay. Well, it's and what I did is I went away. I'm going away in January, and I went away in November. And in between, I had to squish everything in to recover from going and to prepare to go. Right. And some of the things that helped me is I worked in my usual appointments. I didn't skip anything that I needed to do. Like we said with exercises, I didn't stop doing those things just because I was preparing to leave. I slowed down my schedule. I realized that it takes more time than I think it's going to take. And I attempted to get more sleep by getting things done ahead of time and not worrying. Usually it's the anxiety that keeps me awake. This time I had lists and I've checked them off. And I don't do any appointments or do any cooking 2 days before. And that way I leave room for the unexpected. And I've already had a bunch of things happen that I had to find an hour here and an hour there to fit in and complete before I leave.
So by being better rested, better prepared, better organized, you have more ability to kind of juggle and be flexible with the unexpected things that are inevitably going to get thrown your way, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now, what do you mean when you say, how do you want to remember your holiday? How does that play into this?
If you're rushing to get ready, you're rushing to get to your airplane because you didn't schedule enough time in between, or you're carrying heavy bags and you're running through the airport, which is not fun when you get older. It's just, and it's not as easy.
It wasn't fun when you were younger either.
No, it wasn't fun either when I was traveling all the time. But if you can get all the little details done, I mean, like stopping the mail and stopping the newspaper if you receive it, getting the details done, even turning down your thermostat well in advance, well, not too much in advance, but you're just more able to enjoy being where you are. If you get to the airport and you're breathing calmly and you're focused on getting through, it actually becomes a very pleasant experience, because you actually talk to the people that you're interacting with, and it's all about kind of pacing yourself through the whole experience.
Well, that is a very big plus to that flows right out of your first two, right? So I mean, taking that time to plan, really kind of being realistic and kind of budgeting and being organized and
pretty much
having that flexibility certainly ensures that you're going to have a much better holiday travel experience because there's plenty of unpredictable stuff. So that really.
And if you are more relaxed and rested, then you actually do remember more of your holiday.
Well, right, because you're not decompressing from the travel when you get there, right? Which is kind of put you in a moody state, right? Just because you're frustrated and irritated. So
and tired. Yeah.
Well, Jan, I'm almost envious now. You've learned more lessons in your holiday than I think I learned in mine. So I'm glad you're sharing because I get to borrow yours then. So this is all part of our 4-part series here, obviously, on learning from the holidays, lessons learned. And you've been talking about planning, you've been talking about being realistic, and you've been talking about really, creating the holiday you want to remember by doing that, and that you have some control over that. So we've got more lessons coming up here. So you want to make sure that you're connected to Jan through the website at invibehealth.com. The previous lessons learned episodes are there for you to check out. What you want to do is click on the banner that has the book offer. Get Jan's Amazon.com book absolutely free. You can download it right away by putting in your information right there. But that also gets you connected to Jan so that you get all these great videos and blog posts and things that she is creating for you with lots of lessons learned, not just the holiday ones. We're just doing those right now. So thank you, Jan. This has been great. I'm looking forward to your next lessons learned in our next episode. So I will see you again very soon.
Thanks. Thanks for joining us.